G'day Year 7. This is a little video about your Zootopia project where you're building a zoo. So this is part one of about 3 videos that you are going to have to look through, which will help you get through this project. Okay, so you're building some animals. Okay, I'm going to build some fantasy animals. So let's have a look at some of the ones that I've built and I'll take you through it. And then I'll take you through actually classifying these animals. So here is my fantasy Enchanted kingdom. There we are. Okay, and you'll see in the center here, we have our enchanted forest tree, and we have some enchanted animals. These are not real animals, but I'm going to classify them and put them into our ecosystem of the enchanted forest. Okay, so let's have a look at our one by one. Let's have a look at these animals. Well, firstly, let's have a look at, these aren't animals, this is a tree. This is the enchanted trees. These enchanted trees are in my enchanted forest. There's a lot of these. It's a forest of enchanted trees. This is a miniature scale version of it. Of course, I wouldn't be able to build a full scale thing. And you'll notice it has different flowers. It's got some blue flowers and it has some pink flowers. They'll be important in a few more moments. In our enchanted forest, we also have a lot of these weird and wacky looking creatures over here. I'm going to introduce you to the most fabulous of the creatures. The most fabulous is my pink unicorn. Okay, you can see there my beautiful pink unicorn. You can only see the bottom, her legs are underneath and you can't see them. But she has this beautiful, fluffy blue mane, and she's got beautiful pink wings, and she's there. She's not that big, by the way. She's only a bit. She's small. Okay, we'll see later. She's about 20 centimeters in tall. You think, oh my God, that's a small for a unicorn, but it's my fantasy unicorn. So this is what I'm thinking of. It doesn't have to be real, and you know that unicorns are really real. But these are the unicorns of the fabulous enchanted forest. Oh, bell's going. While I'm doing that, I'll get the next of my creatures. Okay, this one here. Now, this is my apex predator. She's the it's a whole species. So there are males and females of all of these creatures, or most of them anyway. And this is the pixies that live in this actually is the common green queen pixie, by the way. And you'll notice that she's greenish in color. She has tinsel on her as well. Did you notice where that tinsel also happens? Tinsel's on that tree. Funny that. Okay, but it's not really tinsel. It just looks like the tree. She also has massive claws, and this is helping her. This will help her to climb the trees later on, because she actually has to climb. She hasn't got wings. She's not like the unicorn who can fly around. And she has this apron, and also notice some more tinsel going on there, and massive claws down here. Really, really claws. She's a vicious one. And guess what she does? She eats unicorns. And she eats unicorns who are living in, where do the unicorns live? They live in the fantasy tree, the fabulous enchanted tree. By the way, the proper name for that is called the holiday tree. Okay, so that's the holiday tree. We'll find out later on. I've named it that one. So you'll notice that my unicorn is got pink and blue on it. Wonder why? If it lives in that tree over there, what would the pink and the blue help it to do to survive not being eaten by those pixies? Those pixies are nasty pixies. Okay. And this one's got to go and eat those unicorns. You notice it's got some of these tinsels to camouflage it, so it can creep up and eat those unicorns before they fly away, because this one can't fly it can only climb. So it's got to do it really, really softly. Who else lives, or what else lives in this enchanted forest? Well, let's find out. Well, I'll have a look at this one here. This is the fairy ring, one of the fairy rings. This is a little plant that lives in the enchanted forest. You can see it's got spikes out, so it doesn't get eaten by predators. We don't want unicorns or whatever to come along and eat this easily, okay? Because if it doesn't protect itself, it'll just be eaten up. The green stuff, the green and the blue, are good to eat, and they're photosynthetic. So in that case, they make all their own energy. They use energy from the sun to make sugars and so on. But you'll notice every now and then there's a red one. They're the poisonous parts of the plant. And some of the animals have come up with ways of getting around those poisons. Okay, so that's the fairy ring. There's lots and lots of these plants on the floor of the forest. What also lives on the floor of the forest? We have a rainbow snake. Okay, it's got nostrils there. It's not eyes, but it has eyes on stalks. And those eyes on stalks enable it to see above the pixie rings. Okay, this is quite a large snake. I've only done a miniature model here. It's quite large if you look at it normally, and it does eat a lot of things that are on the forest floor. What's one of the things that might eat on the forest floor? Well, here are two. This is what's we call it? It's an expressipoda. Okay, it's an expressipod little animal. It's very similar to our centipedes. It's got some legs. Okay, there's its legs there. Okay, and it's got a segmented body. Okay, and it's got a head up here. Its eyes are hidden away. I can't see my eyes there, but it's there. Okay, so it's a tasty meal for that snake over there, as well as some of the other animals. This is also a tasty meal. This is a slug. Okay, this is a slug that lives on the bottom of the floor. It's like a snail. It doesn't have a shell though, but it has these wings, which I don't think snails don't fly, do they? Or slugs don't fly. They don't. This is not flying anyway. It's a winged slug, but these wings are nothing to do with flying. They're to attract mates. Okay, because Mrs. Slug and Mr. Slug like to each other if they've got nice big wings. And also, we've got some eyes on stalks. Why do we have eyes on stalks? Eyes on stalks are good in our forest to see above the fairy rings. Okay. We've got other ones, which I'll only meet briefly because we don't want to have this video going forever. I've made this. I have no idea what it is. I just know that it's a little something that runs along the bottom of the floor. I'm going to work out what its name is and discover it later. Okay, but I'm going to describe it. It's got all this fluffiness around here. I think it's a mammal. Remember, mammals have fur, so it might be that it is a mammal. I'll have to check. It's got a vertebra. In that case, it will be a vertebrate. It has eyes up here. It's got eyes on stalks, just like the others. Okay, it means it's looking above all the things. I don't know what it does yet. Okay, I don't know what type of animal it is yet. We'll discover that later on. Another weird and wacky creature that lives on the floor is this thing here. Okay, it's a common cowwort. Actually, we discovered this later on. When I first discovered it, I had no idea what it was called, but it's a common cowwort, and it's called a cowwort because it looks like it's got the udder of a cow. And oops, I've just plucked its flower off, and it has green things which photosynthesize. So it's a plant. Okay, so it's a plant that others nibble on. It sticks up, and they try and eat these big things here. So let's move on. And finally, it's falling apart. This here is a fungus. Funguses are important in forests because they will disintegrate all of your stuff. Okay, when they die, they have to things which die have to go back into the ecosystem. They have to be broken down and decomposed. So this is our decomposer. Okay, it's a fungus. And I think Miss Cornforth was going to name it. We'll find out what she named it afterwards and what she described it as. Okay, so there are all the creatures that I've got in my forest. Okay, you might have some more creatures, you might have less creatures. Okay, I've just created some. So I've done some crafty stuff, added them together, and as I've done, I've had some fun. So this is what you're to do. You're to do is to design some creatures and then add and modify those creatures and have fun later on. So this is so far, this is the making of the creatures. We'll come on to what we'll do with those creatures and name them and discover them and find out what they could do in the next video. Bye.